to apologize.
Now that's gonna be in my head all day. Negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Corypheus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, Your Worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
You can probably just call her Liliana in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinia. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria is proving to be a woman that few dare to disagree with. She has already won concessions for the Inquisition. You are fortunate to have her support.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, Your Worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do, and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Olay. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
The Imperium sent an ambassador?
Yes, your worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. I am glad you saw more clearly than I did.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, your worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apology somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Olay sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
Corypheus is dead. We accomplished what we set out to do. If we're not needed any longer and it can be done peacefully, it may be time for the Inquisition to disband.
Thank you. Maker watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
Divine Victoria keeps close counsel on her position.
The shan't be at its best, waiting for the right moment to reach the city.
I should look around.
Surprised Lord Cyril is on the Exalted Council. He's so sentimental about the Inquisition.
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You found a dog?
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
Tire of you? With that positive attitude and fetching ability?
He's not supposed to fetch it.
I don't think you understand how this works.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
You could take him to Ferelden sometime. He should know where he came from.
I did promise my sister a visit. She might try to spoil you. Remember who you report to. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Whatever happens, our people, you, Liliana, Josephine, will have my support in whatever form you require.
I can't imagine the Inquisition without you.
I am honored, and likewise, Inquisitor. You can help. Dodge this, and I'll find Orlesian dog treats before we go.
And what do they need? All ready.
Yes, thank you.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
I've never heard of a fancy spa serving elves.
You are the Inquisitor, darling. Savior of the Empire. They won't turn you away.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. How are your international relations with our favorite Tevinter Magister-to-be?
Are you digging for gossip, Vivienne? Trying to get me to give up the juicy details?
Merely expressing concern for your well-being, my dear. Someone ought to.
You must be keeping very busy.
Someone has to keep the mess that's been made of Thaddeus's institutions of magic from flying apart. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
Oh, yes.
It's true.
It's been a while since so many gathered in this place.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you.
Am I interrupting something important?
Yes.
Which is perfect, because Bran here needed a break. This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount...
Provisional Viscount.
Of Kirkwall.
And what are you doing now?
I have resumed my post as Seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now?
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns out you fund enough reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
Does this mean I can't tempt you into coming back to Skyhold? Wicked Grace hasn't been the same since you left.
I'm probably going to be stuck in Kirkwall for the foreseeable future. There's a lot to do back home. They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a compt now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. You should stop by Hightown sometime to see your estate. It's pretty nice. For Kirkwall, anyway.
Proper disposition of empty estates is supposed to...
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
This is possibly too much, Varric. I don't know what to say.
That's nothing. Practically nothing. Don't mention it. Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
You can't give me the actual key that closes Kirkwall's harbor. That's absurd.
Finally, someone with sense.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
I gave you my word we would talk, and I never break my word.
Easy there. I was just teasing. So tell me everything that happened while I was away. And after the betrayal, and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
Are you glad you at least tried to apologize?
It's hard to say. I go back and forth most days. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back, though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
I'm getting a little worried for the palace, and any passers-by.
How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages.
Wonderful.
Well met, your worship. Watch your tongue.
Maker.
Inquisitor, I see you have time for afternoon refreshments.
Did you know that a merchant in the courtyard is selling gemstones the same color as your eyes?
What an odd thing to say. I must see this for myself.
I appreciate the help getting him elsewhere.
I still don't understand Orlesians and their masks, but it makes him happy. And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs?
Birds like breadcrumbs.
Oh, Cole, good day. I didn't see you there.
But I saw you, as lovely as your songs.
I'm pleased for both of you.
The world has ample pain, Inquisitor. The kindness found in Cole is rare indeed.
Her songs bring happiness to those who hear, and I can make her happy in return.
Well then, carry on.
Inquisitor Herald. Glad to be back, though. Whatever it is this lot have shoved up their sleeves. Just right up in there.
That's it? It's been some time.
Well, we don't know what's what, so what's there to go on about? It's Inquisition business, innit? That's all we are. Maybe sort out how they want to mess with us. Then there'll be something to talk about.
Your Worship, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I need you to keep the Chief distracted while we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
It's for his birthday.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
Did you know that Ferelden has its own names for lords? The country is divided into Ternirs, governed by Terns. Inside those are cities and Arlings, ruled by Arls. And then there's the Banorn. It's a large area of countryside ruled by multiple bands.
Good to know.
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Sure you can. They must have that thing almost across the room by now, right? Ben Hasrath, remember?
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief!
Oh, you guys. You got me.
inspiring minds, varied charms with clever words. Vendor of exotic goods, writers of salacious books, corroded, warped with rhymes. So is the mysterious elven age, master magic lies on darkness. You have it.
Baking.
Of course.
It's been quite a day so far, has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence, but the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Is this in your daily notes? 3 to 4 o'clock. Idle chat with the Inquisitor.
Of course not. Not precisely. The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
Perhaps you're right. These meetings and talks don't allow for much leisure time.
And then back to Skyhold without a moment's pause to take in where we are. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
Thank you for thinking of me. I'd be delighted to attend.
Splendid. I will arrange things at once. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
This was your idea of a restful evening?
Ah, wasn't it lovely? It's been so long since I've gone to the opera. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Truly?
that part with the glittery... And they actually set fire to the... Yeah, yes, I truly enjoyed it.
Then I call tonight a great success. Oh, look! The encore signal!
Ole is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Amatus. Wading through all the pomp and circumstance I see.
You're back after being away in Tevinter for a month, and this is how you greet me.
I have an apology ready.
What have you learned about this council?
Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Ole wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is a good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Of course not, Inquisitor. I was catching up with Redcliffe's Arl. He's here to represent Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I'll try not to keep you from more important matters.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
Many are frightened of the Inquisition's power, but I will do all I can to allay their fears.
Is there anything I can do to make your job easier?
Explore the grounds. Let yourself be seen. The delegates need to put a face to the legend. I have much to do, but let me say this. I may no longer be your spy master, but I am always here if you require.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
I appreciate knowing where Ferelden stands.
You are owed that, Inquisitor, especially here. These Orlesians will talk circles around you before you get a simple greeting out. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you. Or want you. It may even kill you. But we'll miss you. If it counts. And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Tama never wanted any. I swear.
Leave him.
It's true. I couldn't stay away from Tevinter forever. I'm leaving as soon as the Exalted Council is done.
You said you weren't going back. What's changed?
I don't want to leave, Amatus. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
So you'll truly be a magister?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, Amatus. I won't be entirely without support. Mayveris has gathered other magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
What of us? This is it, then?
Nonsense. There will always be an us. We'll just be farther apart for a time. Now, don't pout. I'll put that expression on a statue, and then you'll be sorry.
You think this is funny?
Nothing about this is funny. I am sorry, for what it's worth.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
You don't have to go back, Dorian. You put it behind you. You still could.
Give up a golden opportunity for martyrdom? Perish the thought. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... Magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are the man I love, Amatus. Nothing will truly keep us apart. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back. Quite the party, wasn't it? I hear it left the Orlesians and Fereldans completely aghast. Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor, toasting a Tevinter Magister. Not a bad scandal to leave on.
Inquisitor, did you need something?
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
And that makes you sad?
It is easier on the heart to just see gilding. Now all I see are hands rubbed raw to make gold gleam, tears shed in the night over silk embroidery. Others overlook them and forget their pain, but I am divine and I cannot be blind. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
I'd fear anyone with our vault of secrets. Wouldn't you?
It is not our secrets, nor our soldiers. There have always been spy masters and private armies. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. The Inquisition's time is coming to an end.
Is that the decree of Her Perfection Divine Victoria? That the Inquisition be dissolved?
As divine, it is my duty to think of Thedas and all our peoples. We set out to restore peace, and now peace is upon us. Some things can only be accomplished in shadow, without the trappings of power and the attention they bring. But whatever you decide, I will be honored to stand beside you.
Be careful, Inquisitor. We have a ways to go yet.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Yes, from bandits. Would you like us to give it back to them?
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. Without the Inquisition, Celine would have neither her throne nor her elven... Marquise.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Divine Victoria wishes to speak with you in private.
The Divine Victoria? Who is sitting just up there?
Yes, and who was once your spy master. It's a pressing matter, Your Worship.
Something has come up. I'll be back.
What?
This is highly irregular.
Perhaps it would be best if we took a short recess. The guard said we should both see this. I believe she was correct. A Qunari warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
So what would the left hand of the Divine see when she looked at this?
This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Qunari military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how?
Would the Iron Bull know anything about this?
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. Since becoming Talvashov, he has had no contact with his people. He seems frustrated at not knowing more.
We need to find out what's going on. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will extend the recess as long as possible. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
Looks like he came down over the railing. An active Eluvian? If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone. Brought me here while showing me the Eluvians. I'd forgotten all the colors. Judging by the bloodstains, he tried to get through here.
Is there a problem?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it. The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Good. Let's see where this Canary took his wounds.
They'll not get through me.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. The old team together again to kick some ass.
Another Canary, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
He's Karashok, a foot soldier. Must have been in the same squad.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
A powerful one. I can still feel the heat crackling.
We need to find out why these Canary were here, and who did this to them. Over there, Canary. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
The elves bound a spirit here. It feels old. Very old.
What does it want? I think I know what to say. Armelana Dirthavren. Rivas Verenaris. That worked, I think. That was like veil fire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves. This whole valley was a sanctuary, created by the dread wolf Fen'Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Fen'Harel is our god of misfortune.
Too bad we're not here at night. We could come back when it's dark, use the stars to see exactly where we are.
What are you thinking? Turn this into a safe house for spies? A secret storehouse? No, wait. A training course for elite soldiers.
Can't a man just be curious?
I guess.
That alluvion only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
Has its uses. Move a lot of soldiers around quickly that way.
Cuts all over the back. He was killed by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry.
Here we go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
Stripweed?
Terrible stuff. Looks like grass, stings like a knife, and causes sores if you so much as brush against it. So, of course, everyone in Menrathus insists it makes a very decent tea.
Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
Kinda curious that this guy had to specify he wasn't a god.
Fen'Harel sounds like quite the rebel. The old elven gods must have simply loved that.
This claims the elven gods were just Evanuris, powerful but completely mortal mages.
Almost like these slaves were being untaught what they'd learned. Being formed into a rebellion.
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
You all right, boss?
I'm not sure. It stopped, at least. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
This place is creepy.
Canary!
Good! Machina! The Inquisition does deal hard.
those Qunari attack the Inquisition on sight?
No idea. They weren't Talvashoth, though. This might be a rogue group, but they think they're following the Qun.
That's Fenharel, removing a Dalish elf's Valasleen.
But these ruins are older than the Dalish.
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. What's this? Weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evanuris, posing as gods.
Interesting word, Evanuris. If all it means is mage leader, well, they were basically magisters.
This letter says the Qunari came to these because the Illuvians connect to Halam Shiral.
An attack on the Winter Palace.
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
This is crazy. They're acting like we're at war.
Are they?
I don't know, boss. I wish I did.
Let's look for anything that explains why the Qunari came here before we go. Come on. We have to warn people about the Qunari's designs on the Winter Palace.
One dead Qunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Qunari may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us.
They also have no reason to be here, or using Illuvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now, Your Holiness.
Cullen, please just call me Liliana.
Yes, Liliana.
It appears the relative peace and quiet of the last 2 years is coming to an end.
First the Blight, then Mages and Templars, then Corypheus, and now this. Can't we go 10 years without the world falling to pieces?
We must ensure that the Qunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
Could we use the Qunari threat to remind everyone how valuable the Inquisition still is?
Not until we know more. It will be fine. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
We, Your Holiness?
You do, Josie?
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Qunari are doing, and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
Everything going all right so far?
I'm surprised no one from the Council of Heralds wants your autograph.
You just missed them. Duke Cyril keeps asking me for spoilers for my next book.
Any word from Hawk?
I got a message from, well, best not to name an entire chain of smuggling syndicates in polite company. Anyway, Weishaupt is apparently the special kind of mess that only appears when Hawk shows up. I'm not entirely sure how it'll all play out, but my money's on Hawk walking away from the Warden's fortress as it explodes.
So, Bran used to be Viscount, and now he just follows you around?
provisional Viscount.
Pretty much.
With a permanent appointee, finally, in the Viscount's office, I am free to return to my post as Seneschal.
He means my true calling is arrogantly telling people they can't talk to the Viscount. He's good at it, too.
We'll talk more another time.
I'll be here if you need me.
Was there something you needed?
Have you had a chance to speak with Liliana? Away from work, I mean.
Some, yes. Liliana has kept in contact, unofficially of course, but it's good to see her again. Arguing with her in person is far more satisfying.
Do you remember the first time we came to the Winter Palace?
All too well. I've already answered a half-dozen questions about my personal life. The reason we're here is because we made a difference. That's worth enduring the political small talk.
Is there any news from Ferelden? How's your family?
My sister Mia keeps me informed. As I understand, she's training my nephew to best me at chess.
All good news, then?
Not all, but most of it is, and that's good enough.
Is there anything I should know?
We were committed soldiers here, and our every move is watched. Some things never change.
I should go.
Inquisitor?
Divine Victoria.
Please don't. It would be nice to just be Liliana again for a few days.
Oh, of course. Forgive me.
There's nothing to forgive. I just want it to be like old times.
Tell me about your nugs. Did you get any new ones?
Oh yes! A litter was born just a month ago. We are weaning them right now. If you are hoping for one, I'm afraid they're already spoken for.
Do you miss being our spy master?
I think I miss the people more than the work. Josie, Cullen... I didn't notice how much I liked having them near until they weren't. We write, of course, but it's not the same.
Have your agents any news I should hear about?
There is activity in the Tirashan. Strange elves, like those at the Temple of Mythal. No news of Solus, however.
Perhaps later, Liliana.
I'll be right here if you need anything.
Inquisitor, did you need something?
I wanted your opinion of how Divine Victoria is working out.
Leliana's tenure has been even more disastrous than I imagined.
How are things for the Circle of Magi?
If you call it the Circle while they're in earshot, you'll never hear the end of it, my dear. The College of Enchanters is a ridiculous mess, but it's still a useful institution for training mages.
We'll talk another time.
I'm moving up in the world to Winter Ambassador. Fancy. Sad that it doesn't come with a stipend, or at least a decorative pin.
What is this ambassadorship about, exactly?
I believe my father set it up, but the Imperium certainly didn't object. They'd love for the Inquisition to fall apart, so they're happy if it seems they consider this council a waste of time.
That makes no sense.
No? If Dread to Winter actually pushed for the Inquisition's end, everyone else would disagree on principle. So they send a nobody pariah and hope for the best. Makes perfect sense to me.
Any thoughts about the Exalted Council?
A few. Divine Victoria needs a new tailor, for one. From the paintings of Liliana in that enormous robe, you'd think she was pregnant. Could cause a delicious scandal. As for this whole Exalted Council business, well... I warned you once that no one would thank you for saving the world. Sadly, I'm always right. So long as the Inquisition's around to remind them they're not really in charge, they'll never sleep comfortably. Whether they have the guts to take action, I suppose we'll see.
Another time.
I look forward to it.
There must be something here.
It's been a while since we gathered up in this place.
It's true. A pleasure.
The spirits have fled, flying, fluttering, fast to the farthest fade. They're afraid of the veil tearing again. She killed the girl to save herself. She thinks about the eyes going black. The weapon is an order.
Wish I hadn't burned all my contacts with the Ben Hasrath. Be nice to have some idea what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but then you'd be on their side, Chief.
Yes, but I know things. I like knowing things.
The Chargers have been with the Inquisition for a while now. Is everyone still happy?
No complaints, Your Worship. The Inquisition's been good to us. We'd disband and join the Inquisition officially, but the Chief gets this sad dog look when we suggest it.
The loyalty is touching, Krem.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss.
What's that?
All right. Let's see where they were going. So that's how the Canary moved the paths. Demons, put them down!